Whether in the studio or in the field, recording great footage can be a challenge. In the next segment, I will demonstrate useful techniques to enhance the look of your project. Filming great footage is key to creating a successful film or program. Starting with the basics, I'll quickly review the different types of shots like a wide shot. These shots are typically used to establish a setting or scene. Then there's a medium or mid shot, which typically are shot from the waist up, still showing the subject in its setting, but in more detail. Then there is the close-up, which typically is shot from the shoulder and up, and the subject will typically fill up the whole frame, showing more emotions and/or expressions. In the studio, blocking the cameras requires that you look from the camera's point of view, not from your own perspective. Here are a few tips to help with composing a shot when conducting an interview. With a 3-camera shoot setup, you'll want to set up the side cameras and cross-shoot the talent. Place the cameras at an angle, pointing towards the talent that is on the opposite side of the stage instead of directly in front of you. The middle camera then can serve as your wide shot. Composition is all about the placement of your subject in the frame, so that the effect is as pleasing to the eye as possible. One of the most important rules is to follow the rule of thirds, meaning you want to divide your frame into thirds, both horizontally and vertically, and then placing the important elements in your shot along these lines to create images that are pleasing to the eye. Something else to keep in mind is the 180-degree rule. If you're shooting a scene with 2 subjects, imagine there is a line connecting them. That line is called the axis of action. Do not shoot on both sides of the axis. Doing so can create confusion for the viewer. So try to keep all your shots on the same side. Another rule to follow is the rule of headroom. Headroom is the space between the top of your subject's head and the top of the frame. Apply too much headroom, then your subject appears to be sinking. Too little headroom appears to chop off your subject's head off. One tip is to keep your subject's eyes on the top horizontal line to ensure proper headroom. Common in interviews, a reaction shot, also known as a noddy shot, is a shot of a person listening and reacting to the subject. These are usually shot after the interview is finished, but added into the program later. When you're filming out in the field, here are a few techniques to help you enhance your project. Since video is a flat medium or 2-dimensional, creating depth in your shots will set you apart from others. To create depth, try composing a shot with an object on different planes like in the foreground and/or background. A rect focus is shifting the focus from one object or subject in the foreground to the background, or vice versa. You can also try using different types of angles, like a high angle when the camera is angling down on your subject, or a low angle when the camera is angling up at your subject. Both these angles can be used to add a new dimension to your scene. For a dramatic effect or to portray disorientation or uneasiness, try using Dutch angles or shots deliberately slanted at an angle. Static shots are great, but don't forget to utilize the pan and tilt functions to create movement in your shots. Or check out the dolly wheels, as it will give you more creative choices. Additionally, there are a number of various shots to help keep the video flowing smoothly and to keep the video interesting, like a cutaway shot or B-roll. This is a shot of something other than the subject, but still pertaining to the story at hand. This can be used to cover jump cut edits in primary shots or add a dimension to a story. There you have it. We hope that these techniques reviewed here will help you create a more visually dynamic production. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask one of our friendly SCC staff.